on that very inspirational note, it is with utmost pleasure that I welcome Honorable Abdullahi Abanga, Deputy for Works and Housing, also MP for Binduri Upper East. You're welcome, sir. And then, of course, we also have in our midst Honorable Andrew Ejapa Mesa, Deputy Minister of Energy. You're welcome. We also have the Danish Ambassador to Ghana in our midst. Honorable Tom, you're welcome. Fellow delegates to the 4th Ghana Green Building Summit, the hybrid edition, thank you once again for taking time out to be here. Just over a year ago, we held our first virtual summit, and the thinking at that time was we can manage a slight inconvenience to our lives, to our routines, to our businesses. While we are all grappling with social and economic recovery from the effects of COVID-19 pandemic and adjusting to some semblance of normalcy, we have also realized more than ever the interconnectedness of our lives. In Africa especially, we need to build back better, more than ever. Knowing that though Africa contributes only 7.1% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions, sub-Saharan Africa is one of the regions bearing a greater brunt from climate change impacts. One way to reduce emissions is to build resilience into our infrastructure, recognizing more than ever that our small efforts collectively matter in the grand scheme. To build our capacity, we would rethink our approach to attaining high-performance buildings, our approach to energy and water efficiency, and also analyze Africa's role in the race to net zero. Amongst other interesting topics, this year we are attempting to practice what we've been preaching. I think one of the attendees asked me if there's a hard copy of the event brochure, but you can see that when you registered, you got an e-copy of the event brochure. So in as much as possible, we are trying to be green as we've been preaching. So you would have gotten your e-copy on your devices. As you can also see with our design, we tried to give this place some ambience, some greenness, because we wanted to provide that green, immersive experience for you guys. We are hoping that even the food that we eat, in every element of our lives, as we go on break, you can also tell that we are also trying to be as green as possible. It is our expectation that at the end of the summit, delegates will leave better informed, policymakers and supplier needs would have been matched to deliver greener buildings and infrastructure. Once again, it's Karibu to our friends in the east, Wamkelekile to our friends in the south, and from us here in the west, it's a big Akwaba to you. Happy dialoguing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tete, for your welcome remarks. I wish I could have added other languages to what you just ended with, but hey, it's all good. Probably I'll pick up some by the end of this event. We'll now take an address from the Danish ambassador to Ghana. Let's welcome His Excellency, Tom Nering.
Thank you very much. Honorable Deputy Ministers, Executive Director of Ghana Institution of Engineers, CEO of Ghana Green Building Summit, and if there are representatives of the media, definitely also welcome to them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here today to welcome everyone participating in this year's Ghana Green Building Summit. I think just the fact that I'm standing here physically proves that we are hopefully moving into a different time. with less restrictions stemming from the pandemic. It's not over yet, but I hope that we're going in the right direction. And I'm definitely honored to welcome both those who are here in the room and also to the Ghanaian and international audience streaming the event online. I would like actually to pick up the mood from Cyril just a few minutes ago and refer to an old jazz singer, an old jazz musician, Louis Armstrong, who many, many years ago got famous for many things, but amongst others, the song What a Wonderful World. And he was asked many, many times at that point, why was he singing about a wonderful world? What's wonderful about a world that's full of wars, poverty, racism, etc.? And he responded, and I think that was a very good response, there's nothing wrong with this world. What's wrong with this world is what we do to it. And if we treat it right, it is indeed a wonderful world. So I think that's emotion that I keep thinking about when I think about also what we're doing to our planet, our climate. And I think that's also what has driven Denmark and the embassy here to participate in the Green Building Summit since the very beginning. This year is no exception. As many of you will know, the government of Denmark has a very ambitious green agenda, which is a common thread in practically everything we do these days. Everything has to be green, sometimes to an extent where you wonder if it's at all possible. But we have that ambition. We have the ambition that in 2030 already, it's not too far from now, it's the aim of the Danish government to curb carbon emissions by 70% compared to 1990. Well, how are we doing this? How do we go from ambition to action and impact? Well, for one, we need to break it down into tangible areas where we can make a change. And this is exactly what this year's theme for the Ghana Green Building Summit seeks to do. To go beyond design and into the operations of green buildings. In Denmark, we strongly believe that developing innovation or innovative and creative solutions to our problems requires collaboration. We will only be able to achieve our global sustainable goals if we put our best minds together and share learnings across borders. In Denmark and around the world, we try to walk the talk and make sure that sustainability runs through everything that we do. Here, the Danish tradition of collaboration across the public and private sector is key, as we need all hands on deck if we are to secure the green transition. Luckily, the good news is that green business is actually good business too. And there is a wealth of untapped potential for economic growth and job creation in Ghana within the green transition, as has been the case in my own country. This year's summit will focus on areas like water, energy, and green finance. We always talk about the green agenda, and while water may be associated with the color blue, it is nonetheless essential for the green agenda. Water is an important component in the close relationship between Ghana and Denmark, and we have a lot to share when it comes to water solutions, energy efficiency, and sustainable city planning. As an example, the Danish Embassy is deeply engaged in a long-term collaboration with Ghana on urban water solutions, led by a partnership between Tema Municipality in Ghana and Aarhus Municipality in Denmark. They work together, and as I said before, including the private sector, to improve wastewater management and access to clean drinking water. Cities are important drivers in the green transition, and we are happy to see more of these joint projects where cities team up to solve some of our core challenges. In the spirit of collaboration, I'm pleased that this year we are joined at this summit by Danish water technology company Grundfos and the global engineering and consultancy company Ramboll. In addition to this, the Danish Fund for Developing Countries, the IFU, will contribute with insights into green finance. Let me just say a couple of words about Grundfos and Ramboll. Grundfos is one of the world's leading water technology companies. In fact, the largest pump manufacturer in the world. But they don't call themselves a pump manufacturer. They call themselves an SDG 6 company. Every day, Grundfos contributes to solving the world's water challenges and provides people with better quality of life here in Ghana and across the globe. At the same time, Ramboll and its 16,000 experts create sustainable solutions in areas such as energy efficiency in buildings, water treatment for industry, and sustainable city planning, just to name a few. So, let me finish up by thanking once again for the opportunity for us to take part in the Ghana Green Building Summit 2021, and I wish you all inspiring and constructive discussions over the coming 2 days. We hope to see many green building projects and partnerships materialize in Ghana as a result. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Ambassador, Tak, thank you for your remarks. And from the Ambassador, we go to our keynote address, which will be delivered by the Deputy Minister for Works and Housing, who is also the MP for Binduri in the Upper East region. I had the pleasure of introducing a minister who was also an MP, and I forgot to mention the MP, and I was in trouble. So anytime I see them with the double hats, I have to mention both hats. So MP for Binduri, and of course Deputy Minister for Works and Housing. Let's put our hands together for the Honorable Abdullahi Abanga. Keynote address. Welcome.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Then I'll do this. So I'm here to represent the. I think I'm a bit taller. Yeah. So I'm here to represent the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing himself, the Honorable Francis Asensu-Boakye. He was supposed to be here this morning to participate in this program, but another equally very important assignment is currently undergoing at the National Theatre, and it was just impossible for him to perform these two functions at the same time. So he's asked me to stand in for him and to convey his apologies for his inability to be here himself. My assignment is to deliver his speech, his message to this program. So good morning again to invited guests, His Excellency the Ambassador to Denmark. Denmark is my second country. I've been to Denmark a couple of times before. Other global media partners, ladies and gentlemen. It gives us a great pleasure this morning to deliver the keynote address for this year's hybrid edition of the Ghana Green Building Summit and to speak on the theme Rethinking Operations Management for High Performance Buildings. Let me start by extending my warm welcome to our overseas guests and the many stakeholders who have joined us today through the virtual platform. As a global challenge, climate change requires global efforts. And I am particularly excited about the strides we have made in integrating the global community in this very important event towards advancing the call to develop sustainable solutions for sustainable development of our communities. Indeed, the Green Ghana Building Summit has developed into an important platform for the green building community to come together to achieve the shared vision of a greener built environment. Certainly, the Ministry of Works and Housing is always happy to be associated with this event, as it creates an opportunity to share experiences and network with industry players and also promote continuous growth and development of the construction industry. To this end, I wish to take this opportunity to commend the organizers for the immense contribution they are making towards expanding the dialogue on green building and the sustainable development of the built environment here in Ghana. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, universally, green buildings are designed with regard to environmental sustainability to create the needed ecosystem for human health and comfort. Accordingly, the green buildings use less water, optimize energy efficiency, conserve natural resources, generate less waste, and provide healthier spaces for occupants. To this end, we cannot have a comprehensive conversation on green buildings without touching on the elements of operations and management, considering the fact that the cost of operations and maintenance of buildings have been identified to account for close to 90% of the building's life cycle cost. Our quest to optimize green building solutions without harming the environment through the building life cycle calls for the need to build green and build smart. For instance, as a tropical country, cooling has remained one of our biggest sources of energy consumption in our buildings. Therefore, solving the cooling problem plays a critical role in meeting our sustainable targets. Some key activists have suggested passive design to minimize heat entry into buildings, allow for natural ventilation, and ultimately reduce the need for cooling. All these, I am sure, have extensively guided our previous engagements at the Ghana Green Building Summit. Beyond this, one may ask how well we are capitalizing on our building designs and other interventions in the built environment to offer clean and sustainable energy and water solutions and ultimately improve the performance of our buildings. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, if the coronavirus pandemic has taught us anything as a built environment practitioners, then it is the fact that a safe and secure home with running water, clean energy, and enough air and space to optimize the user preferences is the future frontline defense against any future pandemic. Accordingly, we cannot overlook the timeliness of our discussion here today. As a country, our demand for safe water and sufficient energy is also increasing. This year, we have had serious concerns about the supply of potable water to our homes and the growing fear that if the prevailing trend is not reversed, we could become a water-stressed country in the coming years. As policymakers, developers, and built environment practitioners, this obviously calls for the need to collectively contemplate an alternative ways by which our buildings could optimize water conservation, recirculation, and reuse towards achieving water sufficiency, particularly in our cities. Similarly, we need to embrace modern innovative technologies towards developing smarter cities that are hinged on clean and sustainable energy options, such as renewable energy solutions. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, from the foregoing, it is evident that we cannot overemphasize the role of a robust regulatory and distinct institutional regime to create the enabling environment and establish the platform for good practices. As a ministry, we have taken bold steps towards instituting the needed regulatory framework to guide the achievement of green building solutions. Currently, the Ghana Building Code, which sets out the requirements and recommendations for efficiency standards for residential and non-residential building, is being used in the built environment. To effectively operationalize the code, the ministry has initiated the process for the review of the building regulation LI 1630/1996, which when approved will have an entire section dedicated to green building regulations. Ladies and gentlemen, it is instructive to note that enacting laws and formulating policies are as good as ensuring that they are implemented to achieve the intended impact for which they were enacted or formulated. As you may be aware, the governance structure within the built environment places my ministry at the forefront in the formulation and enactment of these policies and laws. But enforcement and compliance is stipulated by the Local Government Act, has remained the preserves of the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, who are seldom engaged, not well-resourced, or positioned to meet the challenges of enforcing the provisions in the policies and laws. To address these challenges, in part, while establishing an anchor institution that will better advance our quest for development for green buildings and sustainable solutions for the built environment, our ministry has commenced the process to establish a national housing authority whose mandate shall include, among other things, leading in sustainable housing development and exercising regulatory oversight over the activities of the sector. Also, their operations shall include preferring sustainable solutions to facilities management across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to add that at the center of all climate change-related interventions is the need for adequate capital. Therefore, green finance will be an important enabler. Today, we can find evidence of green finance strategies such as green bonds in our national budget. This is an indication that as a country, we are well positioned to exploit the opportunities available under green financing strategies to finance critical climate-related projects such as green building schemes. To conclude, I wish to emphasize that our collective responses to addressing our housing and building needs in a sustainable way will be defining choices for our generation and future generations to come. It is therefore time to move urgently towards opportunities and solutions that will help us achieve the sustainable built environment envisaged in Ghana without harming the environment or leaving future generations to suffer the adverse implication of our actions. To realize this, we all have roles to play as stakeholders in the built environment, and perhaps as citizens who are concerned about the sustainable development of our communities. This summit, therefore, presents a historic opportunity for consolidating our ideas to fit into the government policy. On this note, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish all participants and stakeholders gathered here and those who are not present here a very fruitful interactions and a wonderful summit. Thank you very much, and God bless us all. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Minister, reading the remarks on behalf of your minister. Thank you for your remarks. Interesting highlights in there on the authority and then the green aspects of the legislation. Thank you so much. Our guest speaker is also an MP. He represents the good people of Sekondi in the Western region, and he's also a deputy minister, this time for energy. Let's welcome the Honorable Andrew Ejapa Mercer.
His Excellency the Ambassador, Denmark, Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister Abdullah Banga, MP for Bunduri, the Executive Director of Yakem Property Consult, representatives from IFC Edge Program, representatives from Car Bank, summit participants, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to join you all this morning for the 4th Ghana Green Building Summit 2021. I'm delighted for the opportunity to deliver this address on behalf of the Honorable Minister for Energy, Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, on the topic, efforts of the ministry in enabling renewable energy and energy efficiency. He would have loved to be here. However, some other engagement has taken him away, and so he extends his sincere apologies. Let me seize this opportunity to thank the Yakem Property Consult for their long-standing partners, IFC Edge Program, Car Bank, and the Embassy of Denmark for organizing this important summit. It is a testament to your enduring commitment to ensure that clean energy and climate concerns remain at the top of the global table, not just for discussion, but also for urgent action. Presently, Ghana has an installed generation capacity of more than 5,000 megawatts, with renewable in the generation mix being about 2%, excluding large hydro power plants. About 85% of the population currently has access to electricity, with government frantically working at achieving 100% coverage. To this end, conversations on renewable energy are not only critical but pressing. To scale up the contribution of renewable in the generation mix to 10% by 2030, in line with our SDG 7 commitment, specific measures need to be taken. To promote the development of the renewable energy resource of the country, the Renewable Energy Act 2011, Act 832, was enacted. The said act was amended in 2020 to, amongst other things, place obligations on utilities and bulk consumers to purchase part of their electricity requirements from renewable energy sources, provide for a regulatory and licensing framework for the development of renewable energy in Ghana, promote private sector participation in the renewable energy sector, and mandate fossil fuel-based wholesale electricity suppliers, fossil fuel producers, and other companies that contribute to greenhouse gas emissions to complement the global effort of climate change mitigation by investing in non-utility scale renewable energy technologies. Now, prior to the enactment of Act 832, the biggest obstacle to the development of renewable energy, especially solar, was the high cost of the technology. A feed-in tariff scheme was therefore instituted to guarantee a good rate of return for investors and promote private sector investment. Since then, rapid technological development has resulted in a steep reduction in the prices of renewable energy products, to the extent that in some countries, electricity from solar PV systems are at great parity or cheaper than fossil fuel-based power generation. There was therefore the need to amend the renewable energy law. Currently, we have shifted to competitive bidding for the deployment of all energy sector generation technologies. In addition to the Renewable Energy Act, Ghana has also developed a Renewable Energy Master Plan, which aims to achieve the following by 2030. 1. Increase the proportion of renewable energy in the national energy generation mix from 42.5 megawatts in 2015 to 1,363.63 megawatts, with grid connected systems totaling 1,094.63 megawatts. Currently, the figure stands at 136.6 megawatts. 2. Reduce the dependence on biomass as main fuel for thermal energy applications. 3. Provide renewable energy-based decentralized electrification options in over 1,000 off-grid communities. And 4. Promote local content and local participation in the renewable energy industry. To enable the government of Ghana meet its 10% renewable energy target by 2030, as well as its universal electrification goal by 2024, we have developed the Scaling Up Renewable Energy Program to allow for the implementation of flagship renewable energy projects and investments that will provide models for scale-up and leverage additional private and public financial resources to the country's renewable energy sector. As a nation, we have taken the needed steps from the above, the passage of the amended Act, the master plan, and the specific projects to provide some level of certainty for investors. In our last mile electrification projects, we are focused on grid as well as mini-stroke off-grid solutions. The introduction of mini and off-grid solutions is an economic way of electrifying islands and lakeside communities as well as off-grid communities. This is done whilst considering the productive use of energy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in order to harness our energy resource endowments to achieve sustainable energy security, the following focus areas will be key to our transition to cleaner energy. 1. We are going to harness the rich resources of clean, sustainable energy such as solar and wind, which eliminate harmful emissions and lessen the consumption of natural resources. To this end, the Ghanaian government is rolling out the SREP program, which is an investment led by the public sector. The projected outcome of these projects are 15,000 net metering solar PV systems, 55 mini-grids, and 36,500 solar home systems to be completed by December 2024. We are going to pursue a decentralized strategy from the adoption of clean and sustainable energy use for the citizenry, especially in low-income off-grid communities. As part of this strategy, the Ministry of Energy in Ghana, under the Improved Clean Cook Stoves Distribution Program, has commenced the distribution of 500,000 units of improved clean cook stoves. So far, 120 units have been distributed within the first 5 months, with the program expected to be completed in December 2021. Also, under the Clean Cooking Strategy and Investment Prospectus, a consumer and market assessment study is on the way and will be completed by December 2021. Again, approximately 100,000 units of solar lanterns have been distributed since the inception of the solar lanterns distribution program. We are also going to give priority attention to the trading of energy resources and services within the continent, notably through sub-regional power tools. This can be achieved by encouraging more cross-border flows of electricity to ensure that we use the most efficient and least polluting power plants at any given time and share renewable energies over a larger area. The effect of this is that it increases competition by limiting mechanism and subsidies to fossil fuel plants. The African Single Electricity Market, which was launched in June 2021, will be an essential element of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. It will offer African industries, businesses, and households secure, competitive, and affordable electricity. At the same time, it can help improve energy security and reduce electricity prices for consumers. Further to this, African nations must aim at improving our share of green sources in our energy mix, in alignment with our SDG goal to become climate neutral by 2030. This implies a significant increase in renewables in the energy system. Achieving this goal would require that renewable and cleaner forms of electricity become an important and larger portion of needs to complement the national energy mix. To do this, we must invest in more infrastructure and employ regulatory flexibility to integrate a larger share of clean energy. Energy security can also be enhanced by improved energy efficiency through decreasing reliance on fossil fuels. Estimates show that 30 to 40% of energy savings can be achieved using currently available technology. However, we have to note that a strong grid and a significant clean base load technology in the energy mix will serve as a good foundation for increment in the contribution of variable renewable energy into the generation mix. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Ghana will continue to drive her commitment to renewable energy in line with her commitment to her SDG 7 goals. Energy is of vital importance to us, not just to power our industrial agenda, but also to provide our people the many convenient benefits it brings to us all. Under President Akufo-Addo's vision for safe, secure, reliable, and affordable energy for all, we will continue to pursue all the options available to us, including our renewable energy sources. I trust that this summit will provide a useful forum to compare notes, share ideas, and learn lessons on how together we can make cleaner, sustainable energy a reality and a major part of our lives. I thank you all for your kind attention, and may God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mensah, for outlining what the Ministry of Energy intends to do with respect to energy, not just green building, but energy, the whole energy spectrum. Thanks a lot for your remarks. Bringing us to the end of all the speeches for this part of today's program.